So I currently live off campus.
I'm currently living at...
I lived here starting in August.
So I currently live in a...
It's an 8-bedroom, 3-bathroom and 3-kitchen house. In January, we had a pipe burst. Totally blamed on us because our house is cold. Over the winter, we had 12 AC units in our house. Amounts to like 12 open windows. Really cold in there. Like, the heat was on, but might as well have been off. The week our pipe froze, our landlord was in on 3 separate occasions. I'm taking a shower one day and our pipe just totally bursts. There's water spewing everywhere. You know, they got it taken care of. In the process, they took out all of our AC units. A few weeks later, we get a bill for over $700. It's a lot to us, but to them, that's just a drop in the bucket.
I'm currently living at Hawks Ridge, which is a big improvement from last year. There was this like weird heater. It was like kind of heater I've never seen before. And I could not figure out how to turn it on for the life of me. So I called them and they said I needed to light it. And they were like condescendingly like, you don't know how to light a heater? And I was like, well, I'm 20 and this is my first apartment, so no. Finally got it lit. Shortly after that, it went out again, came back, relit it. This happened on 5 separate occasions and they just did not get around to fixing it in a timely manner like any of those times. One of the times they couldn't fix it, it was like night and it was considered an emergency situation because it was January, it was super cold. So they brought me this like space heater on these like rickety wheels. I tried 3 different outlets to plug it in, it would not turn on. And that night it got down to 42 degrees when the heater wasn't working. And then when I woke up the next morning, my windows were like iced over. I didn't even have a classroom to go to where it was like warm, so I was just cold all the time until they came to fix it. And just being uncomfortable, it's really hard to focus, and I couldn't sleep very well with it being cold in there.
So I currently live off campus in a house. It is a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom. We don't have air conditioning in the house, so the summers are pretty hot. And in the winters, my room is the only room without a radiator in it. So I rely on space heaters to keep my room warm in the winter. So it's technically probably a sunroom. It doesn't have a closet, so I have a dresser and a clothes hanger rack in there that I keep all my stuff in for a dresser. We've refinished the entire house. It's like owning a house, but we don't actually get any of the benefit out of it. It's more of it just kind of all goes to the landlord. The condition does not equal the price. At some point, it does become dangerous to live here, just based on how in disarray and falling apart the house is. Both of our stairwells on the first floor and the second floor that are holding a major supporting beam are all being held up by a car jack. That was pretty unnerving. I worried about that for a little while, but we're just hoping that makes it one more month before graduation. Don't die before then.
So I currently live in a 2-bed, 1-bath apartment. I have a bigger apartment for a 2-bed, 1-bath for paying $700 a month, and that's including parking and utilities, not Wi-Fi. But I mean, for what I pay compared to what a lot of people pay for a 2-bed, which is over $1,000, I mean, I can't complain, but it's not great by any means of what it compares to like what people pay in Ames for that quality of living.
The market here is just saturated with a bunch of predatory practices. They have driven up the pricing here. I know at UNI, like, let's say like a house similar to this, but a little bit nicer, like each tenant would probably be paying around $300 a month. So, you know, it's a broken system, and unfortunately, I don't know if it's ever gonna be solved.
Do you have any sort of advice you'd give to students in the future who are looking at trying to find off-campus housing at Iowa City?
Really look at the reviews of the landlord companies. I mean, most of them are going to be
If you like have had people that you know that have gone here before and have rented from other people, ask about their experience and where they live, because more than likely if you know one person's had a good experience, I would go with them, because I will say I did not take someone's advice of not renting from this place, and I was like, oh no, it'll be fine. I should have listened and should have kept looking, because our landlord was an asshole. He still hasn't fixed my window that's been broken for 2 years.
Stability of mind, knowing that you'll come home to a safe house that's standing, a house that hasn't burnt down. You don't have to worry about your dishwasher breaking down. You have a dishwasher, which is something we don't have. You have a dryer that'll work.
Ask a lot of questions when you're doing the tour, because I think they think that since we're first-time renters, we don't know what we're talking about and we don't know what we should be entitled to, but I would definitely maybe make like a checklist beforehand just so you make sure you hit everything that's important.